Hey, what's up YouTube? Back again with another video. This time I'm going to talk about some of the changes in Windows 8.1, some things that I like, some things that I don't like. I'm going to demonstrate it here on the Acer W3. You can go check out my other video where I talk about the hardware, some of the things I like and I don't like about the hardware. I'm not going to get into the specs of the hardware in that video, so if you want the specs, look it up on the internet. This video is strictly about Windows 8.1, some of the things I like, some of the things I don't like. So let's start off on the positive side with the things that I'm really liking about Windows 8.1 so far. I like these extra wide tiles. Certainly give you much more information at a glance. And these little small ones here, almost like folders when you think about it, because you can fit 4 in what used to be the smallest tile size before. So in the wide, double wide tiles, you could fit 8. So you can fit 8 in this spot, and of course you can fit 16 in the super tiles, I call them. So I think Microsoft isn't going to give us folder support, at least not yet. They're going to rely on these small tiles to kind of fit that bill. So super tiles I like quite a bit. One of the things also that I noticed in 8.1 that I could do is you'll notice that this Acer, even though it's a 1280 by 800, look at all the rows. I've got four rows of tiles, and that's because there's a setting that actually works now in Windows 8.1. If I tap on tiles there, show more tiles. If I turn that off, so by default this is what it looks like, and once I turn it on, tap on tiles, you can see it shift. Apologize again for the video, taking this with my 920, so sometimes I'm going to have to reach around the camera sometimes. So some of the other things that I like about 8.1, I like the ability to slide up. I like that. Slide up to see all of your applications. I think that's a pretty neat trick. Slide it back down, get back to the start screen. I'm sure there are a million videos out there already about these features, but just giving you my opinion. So back to the desktop, you'll notice that the desktop and the start screen have the same background. So you can see it even when it switches there in the desktop. So, I didn't really have a problem with the switching before. I guess this makes it less jarring. And of course the start button is back. Not the start menu, people. The start button. Pressing it takes you back to the start screen, or you can change some settings, and essentially what will happen if I go back to the desktop and I go into the properties, I can actually go in and change the navigation so it will, instead of taking you back to the start menu, it will show me the apps view instead. So if I tap on that, hit apply, and now if I hit the start button, physical start button, or the start button here, takes me back to the apps view. And essentially, if I want to see the regular start screen, I've got to pull it down to get back to it. So that gives you some options. Personally, I don't have anything against the start screen, so I prefer to see that as opposed to the all apps view. But choice is good, Microsoft, so I got to give you credit for that. So one of the other things that I like, PC settings. There are a lot of them. So obviously I'm not going to go through them. Like I said, there's probably lots of videos out there. But the fact that you can configure all of your settings from in the Metro or modern UI, I think is a bonus, it's a plus. The fact that the apps will automatically update in the background, I guess that's a plus or a minus, depending if there is a change to an app that breaks the app and you don't want to apply that. So it's a little bit dangerous there, but at least as a developer, I'll know my app will be up to date if people have that feature turned on. It is an option though, so you can turn it off. So those are the basic things that I do like. Now for some of the things that either I don't like or I'm not really that big of a fan of. You'll notice now that you can't just pick up an icon and just or a tile and just move it. You've got to press and hold, and there's good and bad with that. So obviously now you can select multiple ones. You notice that I keep doing the down drag action because I was trained already to do that. So it's a little bit, the fact that it doesn't respond to that anymore, it's kind of throwing me off. But having to hold and tap, it just seems to take a lot longer now to kind of arrange your tiles. But I understand why Microsoft had to do that. So that's fine. You can still pinch and move a group from this view. So that's one thing I'm not really that big of a fan of. The other thing that Microsoft talked about this as being a feature that I'm not really a big fan of is when you install apps, they don't show up at the end of your list anymore. They actually show up in the all apps view. And I don't really like that, to be honest with you, because then I've got to come in through this view. And so, for example, if I want to put Smart Glass and pin that now, I've got to press and hold for a few seconds, let go, and then I get the menu, pin to start. So whereby before I could just, once it's installed, it would be there, and if I didn't want it, I did down swipe. In this case, I've got to press and hold, select it, and then I would say, unpin if I didn't want it. So I preferred, I guess I'd gotten used to navigating with the way Windows 8 worked. So that's going to take a little bit getting used to. Not really a big fan of it right now, but that's something that I'll get used to. Yeah, so beyond that, everything else so far seems to work the same to me. I haven't really spent a lot of time on it on the Surface Pro to really see if the speed, if it's any faster or not. But overall, I think 8.1 is going to be a pretty good upgrade. Microsoft's never going to make everybody happy. Hopefully they'll make a couple more people happy, and we'll progress forward. I think the return of the start button is kind of stupid, but that's just my opinion. I just think people made a big deal about the start menu and the start button being gone. And what they really should have done is make a big deal to Microsoft about making a better start screen. But once again, that's just my opinion. So thank you for listening. Leave your comments below. Thanks.